slightly mean and very sharp.
Right, mean, sharp and premature.
Yes.
Right.
And Jan has the subject still of marbles and more points in 8.5 seconds. Starting now.
Well, that's the sort of marbles, in my opinion, are called blood-on-ing.
Getting in the chance again. Salt. Yes, you talked about salt.
I did, you're right, I accept.
There are 4.5 seconds for you on marbles, Derek, starting now.
The 7th Earl of Elgin brought back from Greece the marbles that were named after him. So, this is it.
Well, Derek Nimmo got points in that round, including one for speaking as the whistle went at the end. But in spite of that, he's only in second place because Jan Ravens, our first-time guest, has got a strong lead. Kenneth, your turn to begin. The subject is Pluto. Will you tell us something about that in the game starting now?
It was given the title Pluto when they built that pipeline under the ocean, which was instrumental, incidentally, in our victory in the war. But in Greek mythology, Pluto is the king of the underworld. In Greek, it's Hades.
Jan Raven.
Did you repeat Greek?
No, he hasn't said Greek yet.
I talked about Greece when I talked about the Earl of Elgin.
Oh, I'm all of a doodah, you see, now.
Yes.
I'm carried away from winning.
Yes, I know. But it's lovely to see you in a doodah. I would love to see more of your doodahs. I didn't mean that. I meant to state that you were describing. Oh dear. What happens at a spontaneous show when you can't cut it up afterwards? You have 38 seconds. On Pluto, Kenneth, starting now.
Pluto was married to Stephanie. She's sometimes called Proserpina and is legendary in underworld parlors for...
Derek Nimmo challenge.
We've been down twice, 200
Yes, you talked about the underworld.
Well, he's the king of the underworld, Pluto.
I know, but you mentioned the word
Can't you
underworld.
say underground?
You'll find another word.
Hades.
You frequently do.
No, that's his name, you fool. Hades is his name. A-D-S. It means without sight, therefore the mystery.
Remember, you repeated the word underworld.
Hades is the god.
Kenneth, you know you can't repeat a word in just a minute. That's the stress of the game. And there are 25 seconds for Pluto with you, Derek, starting now.
I'm not knowing he was the brother of Jupiter and Neptune. What I do know about Pluto is, of course, that wonderful comedy character invented by Walt Disney. To go to Anaheim in California, dying with Pluto, this lovable big nose, floppy ears, wandering round.
Peter Jones, the challenge.
Repetition of lovable.
Oh, yes, you've done that twice. It's lovable. Yay, good. Well, good. That's a brilliant challenge, that is.
Brilliant challenge.
So, Peter, you have a point for a correct challenge, and the subject is Pluto, and there are 7 seconds left starting now.
Pluto is the planet which is furthest away from the Earth in the solar system, going round.
So we have many aspects of Pluto discussed there and talked about in the game. Peter got the extra point for speaking on whistle when he's in 3rd place. Kenneth is one behind him. Derek is one ahead of him, and Jan Ravens is still in the lead, and she also begins the next round. The subject, Jan, is neighbours. Can you tell us something about those in the game starting now?
A good kind of neighbours are those that you could always rely on to borrow a cup of sugar from in a crisis. When you run out and you want some, you could always go around to your neighbours and get a container with some sweet stuff in it.
Peter Jones, hesitation. I will agree with that hesitation, yes, Peter. And there are 46 seconds on neighbours starting now.
I think that's a very old-fashioned idea of a neighbour getting cups of sugar from them, because most people don't eat it anyway. They have sweet eggs or something, and very small number.
What was that?
Hesitation, I agree, yes.
What kind of challenge, buddy?
It's an ordinary challenge.
Ordinary. I'm brilliant. Mine was brilliant. Rather thought I made it brilliant. Hardly worth it, really.
It's about an average one as well. And it's also correct, Judge. And, there's also 35 seconds left on neighbours with you, Derek, starting starting now.
As our Lord said, love thy neighbour as thyself. Now, if we all did this, what a much happier it would be. And having neighbours like Peter Jones, who loves enemies, when that clap you on the shoulder and tries to put you off, and also smashing your back at the same time. We can't be challenged.
John Raven was challenged.
Hesitation, but I do feel a bit mean.
Yes, you are absolutely mean, but it was a correct hesitation. I mean, a correct challenge. Yes, I agree. I must explain to our listeners.
Things when you move with power.
Peter Jones sits beside Peter Jones sits beside Derek Nimmo, and he was patting him on the back in good neighbourly fashion. Then,
No, I'm not a choice. I'm not taking a choice.
no, but he did.
Trying to break Kenneth and me up.
But the process did mean that he hesitated. Jan got in with a correct challenge. She takes the subject of neighbours. 10 seconds starting now.
My unfavourite kind of neighbours are those that are very nosy and won't leave you alone. And also, speaking on behalf of the younger generation, the people that won't let you...
Derek Nimmo challenge.
She's knocking on a bit. We don't call that the younger generation. Oh, these are the middle-aged days.
She's no longer young. That is obvious, even to me, and I am not married.
And the reason...
I'm speechless with rage.
Well, it's an insult you're just after one.
I wouldn't be...
Just you wait.
I am waiting at the moment. I'm not living there. Look at it. Just sit there.
The thing is, if you put up with those insults, you do win a lot of points, you see, Dan, and you're going to increase your lead as a result. And the reaction of the audience was obvious that they disagreed in part. They could see how devious and incorrect and insulting the challenge was. And you have half a second. Half a second, that's all, to take on the subject neighbour starting now. Dan Raven's gained points for the insults and speaking, or not speaking as the whistle went, but has increased the lead. She's actually 4 points ahead of Derek Nimmo, who's in second place, and he also begins the next round. The subject area, what I want for my birthday. 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
Is well, what I want for my birthday is really rather special. What there's listening, I'd like to take a pencil and paper and write down the date, the 19th of September, that's what you have to remember, and if you send it to me, Carol, British Broadcasting Corporation, in Portsmouth Place, I will be very pleased to receive it. Now, I am not suggesting on this occasion that I want Mrs. Nicholas Parton, because she wouldn't travel very well out of the post. And what I would like are a collection of marks, particularly those played with in Liverpool playgrounds, where I, too, spent my youth much at the same time as that old boot Miss Wade. I found that if you take the ollies, as they often call
You have been challenged, Derek. And actually, the person who challenged first was Peter Jones.
Yes, well, you couldn't send these huge steel balls to the post, because the postage would be prohibitive. They probably wouldn't accept them. In any case, I object to this gratuitous insults.
So what is your challenge?
We don't know. We don't know.
I didn't have a challenge of deviation.
No, I'm just objecting.
Me too.
Is it overruled? Overruled.
So unfortunately, if you got in first, I would have agreed with your challenge, Jan, but I couldn't answer the game.
Away like billiards.
I know, but he got in a split second before with a ridiculous challenge.
Ridiculous challenge.
Ridiculous challenge. And you can write that one down, Peter Jones. Ridiculous. If you can spell it. And Derek continues the last with 16 seconds on what I want for my birthday, starting now.
There are various other things I want for my birthday, and these I would like a little specially to my door. Particularly, I would like some early Dewsbury Derby porcelain from about 1760 to 65. It's a particularly good quality. I like it.
Jan Raven for challenge.
He said particularly about 3 times.
No, I didn't. No,
I wasn't talking about the Morgan Mark.
Now, what I would particularly like, and he said particularly, then again, yes, well done, Jan. There are 3 seconds on what I want for my birthday. Now,
Anyway, hesitation.
I know, but Derek Best Spies are a new spoke, so it doesn't count, so double check. subject is my favorite type of restaurant. Will you tell us something about that in just a minute, starting now?
My favorite type of restaurant is averagely run by those hospitable people, the Italians. I know this girl, Conti, who was a receipt before she took upon herself that new absolution by marrying a beautiful young man called Romano. And the dishes they prepare are out of this world. I had these kidneys, they were deviled, they said. Well, the piquancy was indescribable. I have to come suddenly to the French, because, as you know, the French restaurant...
No challenge.
Too French. Oh, very sharp, very sharp.
I'm very French. So, Derek got a point, the subject, and there are 13 seconds on my favorite type of restaurant, starting now.
My favorite type of restaurant is a Chinese one. I went recently in Hong Kong to a most unusual. And there,
Jan Ravens. Yes, there were 2 ones. And so, Jan got in.
Oh, the old boot isn't looking so old now, is she?
She put her foot in there, and she has 5 seconds on my favorite type of restaurant, starting now.
My favourite type of restaurant is one where you are greeted by a friendly maître
So, Jan Ravens was once again speaking as the whistle went, and she has slightly increased her lead at the end of the round by 1 point, 3 ahead of Derek Nimmo, and quite a few ahead of Peter Jones and Kenneth Williams. Jan, it's your turn to begin, and the subject is the zodiac sign of Taurus.
Taurus, the zodiac board, happens to be my very own star sign, and I do think it is one of the most wonderful things to be born under, because you possess many very great...
Peter Jones is champion.
Captain Amanda.
Yes. So, Peter, you have the subject. There are 46 seconds on.
Really wanted that.
Taurus, the zodiac sign.
Yes.
Yeah. Starting now.
Well, I believe it's the sign of the bull, but I'm not terribly conversant with the meaning or the implication of
You think no challenge. You weren't even interested in the subject, were you?
No, I wasn't. Why are we getting so many of these? We had Pluto the other day.
We had Pluto in this show.
We did.
Yeah. When you nodded I know came back and you talked about
yes,
Pluto.
that's right, yes, yes.
The planet in our solar system furthest away from the sun. I mean from the Earth.
Yes, yes.
And there are 36 seconds on Taurus, zodiac sign, with Derek Nimmo starting now.
I was very interested to hear that Jan Ravens is a Taurus, because people born under that sign, warm, loving, compassionate, lovable, Hitler was a Taurus. And therefore, it was the only thing to do like quite the right thing about it. And then I found a few of them. Looking for people who are born under the sign of Taurus, I do find that they're quite different to other people. Gifted in many ways, like playing marbles and scratching their back, and you always spot them in a public place. One looks over there and sees a young lady, and one thinks that is someone...
Well, Derek Nimmo got extra points. I'm also very flattered, because normally he saves those sort of remarks to me, and he put me in the same company with you, Jan. Derek crept up. He's kept colored fellow. And he's only 1 behind Jan Ravens, who's still our leader, and Derek begins the next round. Getting the winkle out is the subject of the investment. Derek, can you tell us something about them in the game, starting now?
Getting the wrinkle out, but I'm very sorry that I have neglected Nicholas Parsons, because I would like to get his wrinkle out. And if I did, I don't quite know what I would do, because he's very keen on eating this particular kind of small seawater snake. And when I see him with a winkle in his hand, I then get a pin and help him to take the winkle out. For this purpose, I usually have a stop from this one here, a little diamond, not like wood, and pearl, and I place it into the winkle and gently prise it out, and pop it into our aforementioned
me, how devious can you get? So, Kenneth, I agree with the challenge, and there are 16 seconds B1 getting the winkle out, starting now.
You get your winkle out if you or with a great deal of alacrity, because you need a lot of them on a slice of bread if you're going to make what I call a delicious winkle sandwich. Now,
we not only have finished the round in style once again with Kenneth Williams gaining an extra point for speaking as the whistle went, but we have finished this particular show. Let me give you the final scores. Peter Jones and Kenneth Williams finished equal together in third place, about 6 points behind Derek Nimmo, who did very well, but he did not manage to beat our first-time player of the game. And she's done magnificently to win on her first time out, Jan Rayburn. We hope you've enjoyed listening to the show. We'll be back again with Just a Minute in about a week's time. Till then, all of us here, goodbye.
The chairman of Just a Minute was Nicholas Parsons. The programme was devised by Ian Messiter and produced by Pete Atkins.
His whistle, it tells us that 60 seconds is up and whoever is speaking that moment gains an extra point. It was Peter Jones who also began the subject and gained points during it. He is not only in the lead at the end of that round, he's the only person to have any points. Derek Nimmo, will you take the next round? The subject is carpetbaggers. There are 60 seconds as usual, starting now.
Carpetbaggers were so named because after the American Civil War, when the North beat the South, they used to go from the top part of the country further down, carrying with them these carpet bags, which they had all their possessions within, and tried to secure some of the most influential jobs in that part of the United States. And this then became a name.
Peter Jones, a chance.
Hesitation.
That, I would say, was a hesitation. Yes, Peter. A point to you. 30 seconds on carpetbaggers starting now.
They didn't have any money, they couldn't afford proper portmanteaus or suitcases, and so they fashioned these carpet bags out of bits of old flooring material made of wool or cotton, whatever. Sometimes they were quite attractive, a lot of sewing went into them. Their mothers and wives were engaged on the needlework of this project for a long time, and when they were ready, they filled them with various articles which they put in.
Peter Jones is starting in fine style after his success of a few weeks ago. We have a different audience, I must explain. Peter actually won a few weeks back. He's come back with new adrenaline, and here he is, not only still in the lead, but still the only person with any points.
Well, being part of the adrenaline.
Kenneth Williams, will you take the next subject? It is variety. 60 seconds starting now.
How do you do with the variety? You come on down to the electric cafe. I go there to do the shopping. Well, I always laugh at those jokes. And tell you one thing. I remember this stuff always goes with her. There's the change, nothing good. Well, the variety thing is full of distinguished artists. And I ignore the fact that we haven't got them with us today to enliven the proceedings as they always did. Variety, someone once said, was the spice of life, unlike the condiments which you see on a table. They said it gave a flavour of piquancy, if you like, and of course variety is in.
Derek Nimmo, tradition of course. So, Derek, you've gone in now with 4 seconds to go. Variety starting now.
Max Miller, that great comedian, used to say, when roses are red, they're...
Derek Nimmo didn't finish that little rhyme of Max Miller's because we might have been back to the Limerick situation a few weeks ago. Derek, you were speaking as a whistle when gained an extra point. You're in second place, and Kenneth has a point. Mark Johnson has yet to score, and he begins the next round. And the subject is great moments. I'm sure you have some to tell us about. Can you do it in the game starting now?
I don't want to sound boastful, but I have had some great moments in my life. I've been lucky.
Peter Jones has challenged.
He's beginning to sound boastful.
What we like to do on this occasion, is to give Peter a bonus point for a good challenge, but Brian gets one for being interrupted, and he keeps the subject of great moments with 55 seconds starting now.
Because I have been able to see things like the coronation, funeral, weddings, cricket matches.
Peter Jones has challenged.
For hesitation.
Hesitation. I was just making
For each of these events.
I know he did, but he has to.
You know he did, right? Well, that's long as you know he did. All right.
He hasn't played the game as often as you and the others, and he
Keep saying that. I know.
you're way out in the lead.
I mean, old Williams here goes far slower than that. You let him go on.
Well, he doesn't pause in between.
You just stand there and see.
I'm sitting. Because you want to make you blind as well.
Oh, yes, it's that table.
Right. Well, Brian, we're with you still on 45 seconds, and the subject is great moments starting now.
One of the greatest moments that I've had was at the Oval in 1953 when England regained the Ashes after 19 years. Dennis Compton was batting, Arthur Morris was bowling, and he bowled off breaks over the wicket, left hand, which is the other word for a Chinaman. And the batsman to whom I referred with initials DCS swept the ball towards the gasometer.
During Nimrod,
Position of 4.
yes, you did mention that the Brian Morris had the
Too
ball.
many balls.